I'm good at
Hey,
BSing.
we're recording.
Hey, welcome to Tuesday, May 12th. How's everybody doing?
Like a radio
glad you're all
show.
here.
We should do a podcast. Is this what podcast people feel like? You hit record and then you feel like you have to say something awesome?
Yeah,
No? Yeah? Okay.
probably. We can
All
just
right.
start saying awesome things.
Cool.
All right, Jen is going to take the floor to share all about the free group we have coming your way, Clean Eats and Spring Cleaning. Jen, you girl.
Okay. Hey, everybody. That's my radio voice. Sorry. Okay. So starting next Sunday, this Sunday, we'll be opening up a free group. It's, I don't even really spring clean eating. I can't even tell you what it's called, even though I've been looking at the pictures. I've been inviting people all day. It is called Spring Cleaning and Clean Eating. It's going to be a 7-day group that runs Monday to Sunday. We're going to open it up on the weekend so that you can add people on the weekend. There will be a prep, kind of introduce yourself post on Sunday evening so people can just kind of get situated. And then the way that it will roll is there will be 3 posts a day for 7 days. The morning post is going to be focused on spring cleaning. So each day kind of takes a room area of your house. So there's 2 in the kitchen. There's like kitchen clutter and then there's kitchen appliances. So the kitchen is kind of in 2 days, but there's the laundry room, bathrooms, bedroom, living room. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but every morning the post will be focused on some kind of spring cleaning challenge, just kind of telling them, giving them some ideas of what they can do to sort of declutter, organize, clean an area of the house. Make sense? And then in the afternoon, the posts will be focused on clean eating. So the posts are things like, why should we drink water and how do we make water more exciting? Why we don't want to steer our carts towards diet food? Why, even though it says diet, it's really not what's best for us. The 2B mindset principle of USUM, out of sight, out of mind. So different clean eating, how to get more fruits and veggies in, why canned vegetables and frozen vegetables are okay. And again, I can't think of every single one, but that's the idea, is that we'll just be giving them some kind of basic, here's how you can clean up your diet here today, right now. These are things you can implement. Oh, and we'll talk about the importance of meal planning and prepping as well. And then each evening there's like a bonus cleaning tip. So like one of them talks about cleaning your pillows or something. I don't even remember what they all are, but there's like a bonus throw in the evening. So essentially they're going to be getting 3 posts, a cleaning challenge, a clean eating tip. And then the hope is that they will interact. There are things for them to do. There are questions that they will be asked. And then we will be telling them, I'll be telling them on Sunday night when we kind of open the group and ask for introductions, that every time that they interact with any of the posts, they'll be entered into a drawing, and we're going to give some prizes. I won't say a number because it'll probably depend on how many people are interacting, and it'll be up to our discretion at the end of the week how many people we pick and what we send them, depending on who they are and what we think they need. So we're not going to be super specific, just because we're going to try to tailor it to who wins and whatever. And then at the end on Sunday, the end of the group Sunday, we will also post about the fact that we run month-long groups with just some details, but not too many details, about what our monthly groups are like, with kind of an open call to action invitation. But then it'll be on us to kind of follow up with them. And hopefully there's enough time between when this group ends on the 24th. We have a full week until May is over. So we can be following up with the people that were in there and letting them know the value of a full month. And hopefully we will have some new people that will join us in June. And then we were talking at the beginning of the call maybe you all heard that, but we're going to put a meal plan in from our monthly groups just so that they have some extra added value. So the idea is that you have this whole week to be inviting to this. This is a really easy thing to invite people to. Really, all I'm saying, I'm sending this to people that I haven't talked to in a while, or people who said no a long time ago, or people who said no last month. Basically like, hey, I'm running this free group that's perfect for this time where we're all stuck at home, and we're going to be doing some spring cleaning, and we're going to be trying to clean up our nutrition. Here's a little sneak peek. Let me know if it's okay to send you the link for the group. And then I'm just popping a few pictures. So we can, Monica and Jess, if you guys want to, you have those images too, if you want to share them in your team pages and let people know they can. One of them that I was sharing was about how we're going to talk about snacking, we're going to talk about meal prep, and then there's this really cute graphic about how to make cleaning in your house fun, but we all put a little like teaser over it so they can see that it's a list, but they don't get to see what the list is. So really just a super simple invite people. It's free. It's up to you if you want to use this as a way to get people's email addresses. I'm personally not for this group just because I can't figure out why I would need their email address. And so it feels a little disingenuous for me. But if there's a reason that you would need their email address, by all means, tell them you need their email address for the group. They're not signing up for Beachbody On Demand. So there's really nothing you have to send them other than the link to the group. But that's totally, I mean, you do whatever you want to do, need to do. So my hope is with not asking for emails is that at the end, if they're not quite ready, this is my post plan, is if they're not quite ready for a full fit club, to let them know about the free workouts that I have in my Instagram bio, and that they have to put their email in for. So they'll kind of see the value of groups, and then maybe they'll see the value of workouts, and then eventually down the road, maybe they'll be ready for something more. So anything I missed? Or any questions? Free groups are always something super easy because there's like no skin off anybody's back. And hopefully it's at a good time in the month that you can, what's the word? Not transition. You can win them to the dark side. That's not the right either.
Help them reach their goals.
No, but there's a word. There's like a business word that if I was really a business person, I would know the word.
Close the deal. Make the sale.
No, no. It'll come to me. But anyways, that's the free group. It's going to be super great. Invite people. It will be open by Thursday. So feel free to add anybody. We'll have questions that they have to answer, basically who their coach is, so we can be sure that somebody didn't just randomly find this group and they're not connected to somebody. But that's it. Okay. We're going to talk about mindset.
Yeah, I get. We were hoping there'd be way more new coaches here because we really wanted to talk about mindset. And I don't mind talking about it, but I also feel like if Jen and Brian need it, but I also feel like then we should just go invite people the next half hour. But I also don't really want to do that either. So Jess or Mon, did you have some mindset thoughts you wanted to share? Because you know me, I can just go and never stop. So
I was just gonna share. I was gonna share my experience from the beginning of the month. So as you know, I've been a coach for a while, and I think it was last week, Pod Squad, we were on a meeting, and I was still sitting at SC0. Of course, my girls here are like crushing goals, and my own team is crushing goals, which is really exciting. I think last week I had 4 coaches who were already on the board, SC6, SC2, SC4, like my team is doing stuff. And I remember I sent a bunch of invites out last week, and I mean, a lot of invites out last week, and no one responded. I mean, Nobody. There wasn't a yes and no, send me some details, let's talk about it. Like, there was absolutely no engagement on any of the invites I sent out. And I was like, huh, that seems odd to me, right? And so I went and got up the next day and I started working and I sent out more invites and 0 responses again, 2 days in a row, which is not typical for me. I don't know how it works for you guys, but usually I'll get a response where somebody says, no thanks, I'm good, or maybe next time, or nope. Crickets, 2 days in a row. And I was like, okay. So still sitting at SC0, and I'm all excited because people around me are hitting goals, and I'm feeling like, okay, this is possible. But at the same time, also very frustrated because for me personally, I feel like this month should be a month where I should already be way, way farther, right? Because it's an incredible deal. $140 for a challenge pack, to me, is like a no-brainer. So why wouldn't everybody want to do it, right? And so as I'm like looking at what am I doing, how am I doing it, and why isn't anyone responding, I started to notice I started to get really down on myself. Like, oh my gosh, I am no good at this. It's already May. We're a week into it. I'm still at SC0. No one is responding, not a yes, not a no. And my team around me is doing great, which means I'm obviously doing something right because I have people near me who are doing things. And it started to get really, really heavy. And then I thought, this is probably how my new coaches feel. They send out 5 invites and no one responds, and they stop because no one responded. And then they may try the next day and send 3 to 5 more invites and nobody responds. And then they decide, nobody wants to do this with me, I'm going to stop. It's too hard. It's too frustrating. How am I supposed to build this business when no one will respond? And you guys, you have to have a bigger why than that. So for a full week, I kept inviting and no answers. And I invited the next day and no responses. And I started to get frustrated, like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I think I even reached out to the girls like, I obviously need to take a minute and jump into some personal development because whatever I'm doing is not working, and it was weighing really heavy on me. And I think it's important for people to know that it doesn't matter if you started yesterday or if you started last month or 6 months ago or 4.5 years ago. We all still do the same thing. We all still have to decide, are we going to invite somebody to something? Are we going to follow up with someone? Are we going to continue to invite even if nobody responds? And I told the girls, I said, I will hit that goal. I will hit my goal. I know I will. If I have to send 700 invites instead of 50, I will send 700 invites. If I have to send 1,000 invites so I hit the goal that I set for myself, I will do that. But it's because I have a why in place. And it's really, really important, I think, especially for new coaches and for those of you who are starting and get stuck up against that wall of, man, I tried and nobody is responding. I must not be really good at this. Well, that's not what it's about. There's so many things right now, you guys. COVID just happens to be one giant one that we're all living under, and it really sucks. It really sucks really, really bad right now. And I have people who I'm talking to who want to join and they just lost their job last week, right? I have people who wanted to renew and can't because they just lost their job last week. So it's so much bigger than that. But if we truly are here for a specific reason, and you have to decide what that reason is. Some of you may not be here for a reason that's big enough for you to continue to invite or to continue to show up on month 6 or 1 year or 2 years or 4.5 years later. And that's totally what you need to decide. But when you continue to show up and you continue to lead from the front and you continue to be consistent in your own journey, not only your own physical and wellness journey, but your own business journey as well, it will happen. And so today, finally, I hit SC6. Does that mean I'm done and I'm not going to invite anymore? No, I will continue on through the rest of the month, hoping that I can help more people, because that is why I'm a coach, so that I can help other people feel as amazing as I do in my own body, as a mom, as a wife, as a friend. I can't do that though if I would have stayed where I was last week, which was that person who had invited and it was like silence. It's like constant and constant. But I also want you to know how important it is to have people to lean into, because I leaned into 3 different sets of friends last week. Last week was not a fun week for me. I just felt like everything kept getting stacked up. Nothing major happened, but again, COVID, right? We're all living in that bubble of COVID, which affects us all differently at different times. But if I hadn't leaned into those different friend groups and just said the things that I needed to say, and know that they listened and kind of gave me feedback and supported me on what it was that I was feeling at that time, it could have been real easy for me to be like, I'm gonna go sit on the couch now and just watch Netflix all day long, because that is an option. And I've had a couple of those days. Just choose to use less of those days than more of those days, right? But I have to constantly come back to that why. And I do that with my wellness too, you guys. When it comes to, do I really want to push play on my workout? Do I really want to eat the salad instead of the chips? Do I really want to drink the Shakeology? I have to ask myself, why did I start 4.5 years ago? Well, I wanted to feel better. Do I feel better when I do these things? Yes. Do I feel better when I eat the chips and the ice cream and not work out? No. And so I have to constantly make that decision. Same thing with my business. Do I want to hit SC? Do I want to make a paycheck? Do I want to help people? Do I want to, there's a big list of what is it that I actually want from this? Well, what is the action I have to do in order for those things to happen? And sometimes it's really easy. And you may have had a month like that where you're like, oh my goodness, I hit all the goals I set for myself and it was really easy. And then the next month you're like digging to make things happen. Constantly like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Just know that if you continuously work towards it, it will happen. But just like I said, if I had to have invited 700 people instead of 100, that's what you have to do if that's what you actually want. I've had some people say to me, well, it's easy for you because you've been doing it for a long time. Well, that is not true. You still have to have the conversations. You still have to do the work. You still have to show up and be consistent. So for me personally, my mind is in a much better place this week than it was last week. And I think too that it's really important when you have a win that you acknowledge the win and you celebrate that win. So for me, as soon as I finally had my first person who was interested and I hit SC, I told my people, I should say, the ones who care and know what that means. And even though it was just SC2, somebody could have been like, so it's SC2. I knew that the people I was telling would know it was important and that they would have my back on that. So I celebrate those little wins. I think that's really, really important. When you hit another thing that is important to you, like you just did 10 push-ups instead of 8 and you've been doing them on your knees and now you can do them on your feet, that's a freaking win. Like, celebrate that. Tell your people, oh my gosh, you guys, I just did push-ups on my feet today. Maybe it was 1. That is a big deal. Maybe you lifted 15-pound weights instead of 10. That's a big deal. Like, tell people. Because when you have those wins, it makes it easier to show up the next day. So when I had that win and I had SC2 finally on the board and I saw it in my online office, I was like, yes, finally, I have momentum. I'm on the board. Share that with your people. Let them boost you up so that you can do the next step and go to the next thing that you're planning on doing, whatever that may be for you. So me personally, I just wanted to share that because I think sometimes people think because we've been here a while, it's just easier. Like, oh, well, you have people. What are you talking about? We all have the same people. Are your people ready or not is really the question. And did you actually make a connection with them? Are you really inviting them? And do they trust you? Like, those are the questions we should ask. But I want people to know it's not easy because we've been around. It's just that you have to continuously do it if that's actually what you want. That's me, that's it. Now I'm done. Becky, what you got? Or Monica, I should say. Do you have something, Monica?
No, have Monica go now.
Come on.
Yeah, well, Jess, I love that you shared that. I think it's really important for everyone to know that it's not just newer coaches that like struggle. Like we all struggle. And there's a few things that I wanted to share, hopefully quickly. But the first thing is more of a question. Did anyone watch the National Wake Up Call this week? Okay, if you have not, please, Jenna, I see you. If you have not, please put it on your to-do list because it was probably the best one that I've watched this year. Okay, we're like headed almost mid-May. It was fire. It was amazing. And I wish I took notes. Like it was so good. You know, when something is so captivating that you can't even stop to take notes, that's like, yeah, Jen, I didn't even do that because I was just like, oh my gosh. Like it was like someone was feeding me, like, please give me more. It was so great. But the one thing that sticks out in my mind that she said is she invites until either that person dies or she dies. She's like, I'm going to invite until that person's dead. Now, that's a very morbid thing to say right now, but her point was there's nothing that gets in her way. There's absolutely nothing that gets in her way of inviting. And I just really liked how she phrased it because it just stopped me in my tracks. That's the first thing. The second thing is I've really been focusing a lot lately on the joy of coaching because it is very easy for us to be like, oh my God, I have to go invite. Oh my God, I have to like check in with my group. Oh my God, I have to like post just, workout. And it's like, it seems so, oh my gosh, I have to go do this instead of I get to freaking do this. And the past 2 weeks, I've changed my mindset and it's really made like me fall in love with coaching again. Not that I ever fell out of love with it, but it did something different to me. Like right now, like one of my favorite parts of coaching, I don't know if I ever share this with you guys, is like counseling people. So if a client comes to me and says, I can't lose weight, I want a carb cycle for 5 weeks. And I'm like, oh, hold up, sister, no. But like, I really enjoy teaching people like what they can and cannot do. So I've been doing a lot more of that. And so my challenge to you guys is, what is it about this business that brings you joy? Like, what is it? You need to find it. Because if you don't, this is going to suck. And you're going to be like, I have to do this. So you really need to figure out what it is that like excites you. Like when I sit in front of the computer and I have like 20 minutes to do stuff, I am like, I don't know where to start. I'm like so excited, but it wasn't always like that. It was not always like that. It was just, but now because I'm so intentional about it, it's changed. And the other thing I've been doing is when I do my quiet time before I start my day, I ask God to show me who I'm supposed to be talking to. Like, please, Lord, lead me to the person or the persons or the mom that I need to find. And I like get choked up a little bit because it's like, they're depending on us. Like that's part of our job. They're depending on us. And I'm very emotional because this community saved me so many times. So if you guys don't want to invite, just reach out to that tired mom that needs you because she does. And so I just wanted to share that. Like, this wasn't how I was 2 weeks ago. I had to really dig and realize that, like, this is such a gift. And, like, the world, like, so many people I'm talking to are losing their jobs or just they're stuck at home with an abusive person or whatever it is. So this can be an outlet for them. And so I just really challenge you guys to find the joy and know that you have such a big part in someone's, like, life plan. And the last thing I'm going to say is there's a woman that I've been talking to for a long time. She lost her job and she was so excited about like doing a 2-week free trial and she loved it. And she lost like 5 pounds and she was just so into it. And she was so sad that after the 2-week trial, she couldn't like afford anything. She couldn't, do it. And she's like, I've been watching your stories. I've been, I have the free meal plan that you sent me. I've been cooking everything on there. I watch your stories every day, and I emulate everything that you do every day. When you show up, I show up with you and I copy them. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And she's down 10 pounds, and she's not even in my group. And she's been doing all of this for free. And so my husband and I talked last night about gifting her a year's worth of workouts. And we did that this morning, and she was so excited and she was so happy. And that's what brought me joy. And I'm not sharing that to brag or anything, but it brought us joy to do that for her because she wanted it and she couldn't. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this to you. So I'm just sharing that to you guys because it did something really different for me. And I want you each to find it because you have it. You have that same thing available to you. And I just want you guys to find something like that. So that's all. I'm going to stop being a crybaby now. But yeah, that's that was on my heart, and I just wanted to share it.
I love it.
And now I'm sweating. Okay, goodbye.
Okay, now she's muted. Well, I'm just going to piggyback on what Monica said about joy. I think for me, the thing that I love the most about well, I guess I shouldn't say the thing. One of the things I love the most about coaching is the community. If you know me at all, I love people. I love making new friends. I love chatting with people. I love making connections. And I think the thing that I have loved recently is literally just connecting with people on Instagram that I don't know. And I think I've always looked at inviting as, like you just have to come up with a message that's good enough and send it to enough people and it'll like stir something in someone. And I guess maybe sometimes if you hit the right person at the very right second and you've said but really like that doesn't work for me. And what I've realized is that I need to be building relationships with people. And that has been the joy that I've been getting recently is I'm literally spending weeks making new friends on Instagram for the sake of making friends. Some of them I will invite and some of them I might not invite because it'll feel not right to invite them yet. Like we're not at that level of friendship. And so I have been finding a lot of joy in just like getting to know people and asking people about their hair color and where did you get that cute shirt? Because I will buy anything on the internet that costs money apparently. And like just connecting with it's sad really because I don't go anywhere. So I buy all things online. Or like other moms who are writing about just generally struggling, or this mom today who had this super sad post about her son chewed off the end of his pacifier and she couldn't bear to hear him cry. And I'm like, I went through that. And so I messaged her and then we voice memoed for like an hour. And I didn't do that because I want to sell her a challenge pack. Like I love connecting with people, and who knows down the road, like she might need what I'm offering. Maybe she won't. She's actually pregnant right now. So she's probably not thinking about joining me in anything. I don't know. But I have really enjoyed slowing down and focusing more on loving people, talking to people, offering them anything that I have to share, finding the people that I would legitimately want to sit down at Starbucks with someday in the future when it's open again, and have a latte, not coffee, because I don't drink coffee, like finding my people. And especially in a time like this where we're so isolated and alone, I have found even more joy in connecting with random strangers on the internet, which sounds creepy. But as Monica was talking about joy, that is totally the thing that has brought me joy. And all that being said, like I've been doing that. I've been connecting with people. And then I when it feels right, will invite people. And I was telling the girls this the other day. I had been connecting with a number of people. I sent some invites last month and I had very polarizing responses. And it was very interesting because I would get a couple of responses of like, I can't even, honestly, I've tried to block them out because they were not very nice. And they were things like, you're just trying to use me for money and all these things. And I was like, wow. And I kind of got, I was on talking with Jess, and it's like, yeah, you feel pretty crappy about yourself when people say those things to you. And it's like, that's not what I need to focus on. Like, that person is not my person. She clearly doesn't see my heart. She doesn't know me, and that's okay, her loss. And in the same minute, I was selling a challenge pack each day to somebody who was like, I feel like I've known you my whole life. I want to spend more time with you. I want to do whatever you're doing. Let's hang out more. And so at the beginning, I was like, I need to change my invite. But by the end of that, it was more of this feeling of, if I'm really connecting with people, those other people are going to get weeded out if I'm doing a better job of connecting maybe. And at the end of the day, like, those people aren't my people. And if they're saying no, either they're not ready or they're not my people, and that's okay. And one other thing that on the National Wake Up Call, when Monica was talking about how great it really was. And the thing that stuck out to me from that was, give me 2 minutes. The thing that stuck out to me, I mean, come on, really? The thing that stuck out to me in the call was when she said, how many times do you go shopping and you put something in, like online shopping, because that's what we're doing, right? And you put something in your cart and then you don't buy it. Is that because you don't want it? It's just that maybe you're going to buy something else today, and maybe you'll come back to that in a week, or maybe you'll wait till it's on sale, or maybe this, maybe that, whatever. But it's not like, I have a sweatshirt. I get an email from this company every freaking day. You forgot this in your cart. Are you going to buy this? Here's a coupon code. And you know what? I'm going to buy it someday. I just have to talk myself into it. I have to be ready. I have to have all the other purchases far enough behind me so they don't all come on the same day. But like, if I want it and when I'm ready, I will buy that thing in the cart. And so when people say no, I mean, sure, some of those people might not be my people, but the reality is some of them might be putting me in the cart and thinking on it, or waiting a month, or knowing that they're too overwhelmed to do it the way they want to do it. And that's okay. And that's why we need to keep coming back to those people until they are dead, or they say, freaking leave me alone, you crazy woman, which one person did say to me. Fine, not my people. It's okay. I'm over it. But I think that's the thing that we just need to remember is, like, find the joy, like Monica said. What is that? For me, that's connecting with people. And when I feel connected, sending them an invitation to join me feels like a natural thing. Like when I wouldn't leave Becky alone. Becky, do this with me because I love it. And I know we love the same things. You're going to love it. And it's amazing. And so find the joy, connect with people. Inviting will feel like the natural next step. And just keep doing it and keep following up. And one thing that we'll talk about probably on our next team call, we were talking about it this morning, is just a new system in Instagram with inviting. And so if that's something that you're interested in, we'll be doing an actual like training. Here's how, step by step, you can very easily connect with people, build relationships. It's easy to track. It's easy to do. It feels natural. If you're like me, you will get excited to get on your phone, not to just like stalk people you know, but stalk people you don't know and find your new best friend. So I'm going to stop talking now because apparently somebody needs me. Becky.
Shocking. I'm not going to really talk that long because the girls said so much great stuff. But something we talked about on Friday, and the girls mentioned a little bit, that since it was one that they didn't go into depth on, I'll share a little bit. So Jess mentioned that, you know, because maybe some of us have been doing this longer, it seems like it's easier. Here's the thing that I keep coming back to. I may have been told no more than a newer coach, but that's the only difference. I've just heard no for longer. So what I might be more of an expert at is how to handle a no. So yes, when I first started, I got a no. I didn't invite for a week. One person said no. Oh my gosh. Now I'm like, someone says no, and I'm like, okay, great. I'm just that much closer to my yes. And so what I used to think was that the world controlled whether or not I hit my goals or helped however many people each month. It has nothing to do with anybody else. it's really just a numbers game. And I don't like saying that because they're people's lives. I mean, like Sister Monica showed that tonight. Like, these are lives of women and men who need this, right? And so, again, not taking away from the value of each individual person, but really it's a numbers game too, right? So if you're inviting two people and they both said no, then yeah, you're not going to feel successful. But every time you hear a no, you're just that much closer to a yes. And what if Jessica had said at the end of last week, I've been doing this for however many years, but I can't do this anymore. I'm doing something wrong because people are not responding to me. It had nothing to do with Jessica. It had nothing to do with her. And if she would have been selfish enough to say this is about me and stopped and thought she was doing something wrong, that would have been the most selfish thing she could do. Well, instead, she reached out, she got loved on, she got her head straight and said, no, this isn't about me. These are about the lives I'm going to change. And now 3 people this week are going to be in her amazing group and their life is going to be changed. But it's a numbers game. She had to just keep reaching out to people. And if you're curious about a simpler tracking way to reach out and build those genuine connections that Jen was talking about, she did a training on it this morning for some of us, and we have a recording. So she's going to put that in all the team pages. So really, if you're wondering why you're not at your goals, you just haven't talked to enough people. And I know that sounds so simple and silly, but it's really genuinely true. And then I'm just going to share one little story. To a girl, I could go back in the feed and see how long I've been inviting her. She was one of the people that I think 21 Social followed for me. Like, she is not my people. When I went and looked at her feed, should have you guys look her up. Yes, look at 13 Black Roses. Okay, look at that on Instagram, and don't you dare take her away from me, because I finally get to help her. And I can show you. Like, can you see? Like, it's like Halloween and scary death stuff. Is that Becky's people? And she looks like she's probably 15, right? So I don't even exactly know. I'd have to go back and look on her messages, but I'm not going to. But I did eventually invite her, and I got so far to the point that she'd picked BOD and Shakeology and To Be Mindset, right? And then a couple months ago, she was like, oh, I'm the only breadwinner. I can't right now. I'm like, yeah, it's all right. And I sent her like a meal plan or a recipe. And then I checked in with her again, asked her, hey, how's it going? Being the only breadwinner right now, and blah, 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 just whatever. And followed up and just loved on her. And then she said, well, maybe I can do it next month, blah, blah, blah. How much is it next month? And so I told her. So this morning, I was going to invite her to a free group, right? Because I've been inviting her for 4 months now. And I was like, yeah, I should probably just invite her to our free group. But I knew that she wanted to do this. I mean, she had gone so far through the process. And if I would have been selfish and just offered her the free group, she probably would have said yes, right? Because free is simpler than 187, which is now what her package will be. But instead, I was like, no, I know this girl wants it. I'm not sure what the objection is. And so I just sent her, I don't even remember exactly what I said, it doesn't matter. But I sent her one last little message, something like, hey, just thinking about you. Want to let you know that package you're interested in is the lowest I'll ever be this year in case things have changed. Just thinking about you, here to encourage you. Hope you're having a great day. And she wrote back, she's like, I'm just so afraid I'm going to fail. Boom. There it was, you guys. 4 months for her to trust me enough to say what the issue was. I'm just afraid I'm going to fail and I'm not going to be able to do it. Then I knew what to do with it, you guys. It was simple. I can totally, it's my jam. You want to fail? Please. I'm all about that. Let's fail. And so I said, totally great. Thank you for letting me know. Now I understand. Like, what about if you fail to try? What if you fail to take care of yourself? What if you fail to love yourself during this difficult time? I'm like, the only way you can fail is by not trying. I was like, if you do this is what we're about. We're about just moving our body, drinking a little more water. Like, we'll figure this out. Like, I just did Becky, right? Great. Let me know if you're interested. No worries. Like, I didn't even say, let me have your email and your flavor. And she messaged back, and I want to read what she said, because it actually was like, it got me too. And actually, it's interesting, you guys, is that she messaged me as we were getting on the call. And so I didn't want to look at it. And then I just sort of glanced down. She said, thank you for the wonderful message. I teared up a bit. I love your outlook on things. That's why I really want to give this a try. And then she sent back what flavor Shakeology she wants, and I already have her email from before. So it's one of those things where she would have been someone that I never would have followed, right? And yet it was just that checking in with her every month. I didn't even, some months I didn't even invite her. I just checked in. And that's what this is about. I think what a lot of us started a couple years ago, and the way we trained is to be like, just invite. You don't want to lose them. And I think what we're getting into now is that we're saturated by all these people that are asking us to do things that just sort of saying, this is who I am, get to know me, and maybe I can help you. So don't write anybody off. And you never know really where your next yes is going to come from. And I would really challenge you guys, if there's somebody where on the 12th you think that would really benefit from going all in, great. But if not, go back. And I have gone through my notebook and I have a list of people I need to do it this week. I'm publicly saying it, that I invited years ago that I've stopped sort of following up with, that there's no one in the world right now that couldn't find something to clean or learn one thing or get back on track with their wellness. There's nobody out there. They have to pay nothing. So there's no business without each of us having like 25 to 50 people in that group, really. I mean, seriously, come on. So all of that being said, the National Wake Up Call is really great. I find myself not listening to them as much because of all the other stuff. And so maybe I shouldn't say this. Listen to all the stuff. It is good. But for me, I just going to like fast forward to the call. Anybody else do that? Maybe it's just me. So I can never listen to it live. But I think that when we can get out of our own way and realize nobody is saying no because of anything to do with us. And I love Jen's analogy about the cart. Like I have 3 pages open. Well, I have 500 pages open. Jen attests to that, with things in the cart right now. They're sitting there. I will eventually get them, but I just can't decide of all the things, right? And so just because something is sitting in the cart doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just might not happen right now. But don't let that person miss out on the chance for what we have to offer them, especially right now. And then again, for anybody that hasn't hit SC since the coronavirus, again, we are not about poaching people or taking advantage, taking advantage of people in this time. That's not what we're about. But if you hit Success Club, you guys, and you're at least Emerald, you get leads next month. So if you hit May, you help 3 people this month, it means that next month you're going to get leads. And I think all of us could probably say since COVID, I've had at least each month 1, maybe 2 that were free leads that did the 3-month or the 12-month. And then once I connected, they wanted to be in my groups and learned that there was this challenge pack they could upgrade to and get that $100 back for bad. And for $160 this month, $140 get Shakeology or something. Then that was, great to have Success Club points, but it was a new relationship, a new person in the group. And that's been really fun to have those people that we earned simply by helping people the month before. So if you want to help more people, I really encourage you to set that as your goal for May, particularly because we have the promo. And I said I was going to talk for a short amount of time. That's Becky being short. Anybody have any questions with a couple minutes left? Bom, bom, bom. Come on. Jen Penn, you have to have one amazing question or comment. She's like, nope.
Nothing. No, that was really helpful to hear from you all, so thank you.
Good, then we did it for you and to hide from my children. Mon, did you want to wrap us up, sweet girl?
Did you say me?
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking too, if you guys ever have questions or just there's something that you want us to cover, you can always let us know, because we kind of just collaborate and think about what either we find effective or what we feel would be beneficial. But we always want to hear from you guys if there's something that you're stuck on, or if you're like, no, I really want an Instagram training or whatever it is, then, we'll definitely do that. So we're definitely here to serve you guys too. So just let us know. But for next week, if you haven't watched the National Wake Up Call, do that this week, and then start inviting to the free group. Everyone should know about it at this point. So that should be your focus. And a lot of times when you invite to a free group, it can, result into something bigger. For example, Jen Penn right there, I invited her to a free group in 2018, 17, something like that. And here she is, Emerald Coach, crushing it. So, I
I was a
mean,
free grouper.
There you go. So you just never know. It's really just a way to get into somebody's inbox. So just think of it that way. But that's it, guys. We really, really appreciate all of you showing up. We know it's not easy, but I appreciate you guys. I like seeing faces and people. So thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in 2 more weeks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
I'll take a
guys.
picture. Wait.
Sorry.
I'll take a pic real fast.